Good morning. I'm at the school right now. I'm in my classroom. This morning, I thought I would do a video that was really focused on me because I was trying to think of what to talk about today in terms of what you might be going through, and then I felt a little bit weird, like assuming what you guys might be taking on. So I thought I'd focus on just some of the stuff I'm going through, and maybe it's relatable to you. So I have been working on a project over the past couple of months about embracing vulnerability. And though I think I'm somebody who's quite candid and honest, and I am very willing to open up and share difficult experiences, I struggle a lot with real vulnerability inside of me. And I started to go onto this journey in an effort to really seek out that vulnerability, be able to connect with people on a different level, connect with myself on a different level. And through it, I've learned a lot about trauma and a lot about myself and a lot about just humans in general. And so the book that I'm reading right now is called The Body Keeps the Score. I find it has been incredible for my learning, and it actually kind of, I've been meaning to read this book, and then it came to me right at the time when I needed it most. Because in there, I started to learn about how my distance between speaking about myself and actually feeling vulnerable. And so when we're going through traumatic events, when we're going through high stress situations, our emotional brain is very engaged, but our reasoning and language is actually quite turned off. So when we go to talk about stressful events, as we start to create that narrative and understand that narrative, we are not actually connecting with our emotional selves. And in learning that, that was a really key piece for me in learning how to be vulnerable, because I started to realize that actually, if I wanted to find that, the reason I wasn't getting there was because I was taking the route of talking. I was taking the route of expressing myself to my friends and family, which is important. Talk is important, but it's very limited, especially with high stress situations. And so I was feeling like I was connecting and I was doing all the things, the Bell Let's Talk thing, I was doing it. And why wasn't it creating that feeling of relief for me, or like I was really deeply working on myself? And I actually started to have a little bit of fears that I was faking it almost, or that I wasn't being real in the way I was talking about things I had gone through. And that's not true. Those things are important and those narratives were important, but the piece that felt insincere to me was the piece of actually feeling. And I think that's a pretty common experience, is that we dissociate very easily in those times, and we manage to kind of categorize and build these stories that we can then retell, but we haven't actually processed them emotionally. So the thing that I'm taking on and that I'm going to encourage you guys all to do right now is to just start to pay attention to your body. And I'm sure you've been told that, and it means what? What does that mean? But the things that have been really helping me to start, something that I always avoided because it's painful and uncomfortable and seriously painful when you start, is to realize where your tension is being held and where there's pain in your body. And for someone who I experience a lot of like chronic discomforts, paying attention to pain is like exactly the opposite of what I want to do. But it actually has helped quite a bit. I'm someone who has a really hard time crying. If you've ever seen me tear up, that's because I feel comfortable with you. It often stops there. If I start to get teary at all, I'll question that and prevent that. And that might be true of you, it might not be. But for me, I've found that that's one of the signs that I'm opening myself up, is that I am working on crying and knowing my body and knowing that that's something I struggle with. Every time that comes up and I manage to do it a little bit, I'm like, okay, that's a tangible thing that I can stick to. So what I want that to be for you is just to like, what is a tangible goal? How do you feel pain? How do you feel emotion? And then make small goals within that so that you can congratulate yourself, because you are doing work. I know that you guys are all excellent humans, and I know you're working on being your best selves. So find something to congratulate yourself on. So even if it's something as simple as like noticing when you're hungry or noticing when you're not hungry, noticing when you're thirsty, when you're tired, those things. And it doesn't mean that, I mean, when we're parents, we don't always get to act on those things in a moment. You know, we can feel really tired. We can logically know we're really tired, but can we sleep right now? No, because our kids are demanding things from us. And so that kind of tired right now also might feel very strange to you because you might not be doing a lot, but that actually can make you feel more tired. So just try to tune into those feelings. Notice that. And when you're going to make the decision of like, should I stay up to have a little bit of me time or should I go to bed early because I need sleep? I'm not going to tell you what the right decision is there because I haven't figured it out on any given day. But what I just want to encourage is that you tap into that in a real way. What are your needs on a daily basis? And notice when you tap into those needs, and then congratulate yourself. Because feeling what you feel in any moment is actually working through past traumas, current stressful experiences. Tapping into how your body feels is tapping into your emotional state. Notice your breath. Take a deep breath in. Did you feel air coming through your throat? Did you feel it in your lungs? Where do you feel tightness when you take a deep breath? Notice your pulse in your body. Where can you feel it? Can you feel it in the tips of your fingers, in your knee joints? It is really unappealing to pay attention to that kind of stuff, but it does actually help you. Yeah, and it's really helped me. I've been crying more. I've been opening up more. And in moments of sheer frustration with my kid, I'm recognizing that is my emotion there, and I'm communicating it to my kid, which is big for me, and I think really important is that in that moment of like feeling my heart, feeling myself getting tense, I'm noticing it. And it's not completely changing who I am as a parent, but it is letting me tap into that. And though that frustration might still come out at my kid, at least afterwards I can go, wow, I was in a really hard spot right then. I was really tired or I was really hungry and I wish I hadn't done that, but I'm also a human. And so that's kind of where tapping into how I feel physically has helped me. And so I just want to encourage you guys all to set a goal of something you can tap into in your physical state, and try at least once a day, if not more, to start tapping into that. And when you do tap into that, when you do notice how you feel, give yourself congratulations on that, because that is a really easy process to distance ourselves from. That's my advice, story, whatever of the day.